Yeah. All right, Ryan. Let's see if we can do better at booking. Let's do some fantasy booking.
I can't. I don't know why my brain is fantasy booking is not my thing. Uh, Especially trying
Well,
to
we'll collab then. How about that? We'll
okay, because
collab on it.
trying to go back because I was trying to think of like a time frame of when to pull them up. So we're gonna be doing. I guess I'll let you kind of fantasy book and I'll just kind of like throw in some thoughts I have along the way. Because my brain is not working for fantasy booking. I can book a tournament, trying to book, but we're gonna be booking the Undisputed Era when or if
Dogs. It's enough.
we're gonna be booking the Undisputed Era when they should have been called up to the main roster. And so uh yeah,
Sorry.
no, you're good. So we're gonna be doing Undisputed Era when they should have been called up and what should have happened on because they should have been on the main roster. Like it's ridiculous that they never got that opportunity.
Yeah.
And I came up with this, and then my brain decided, nope.
All right.
Uh,
So I think the Undisputed Era should have been called up. Whenever they had that time when the roster got stuck in Saudi Arabia or whatever, and NXT kind of took over SmackDown because they had to, because they didn't have anybody
yeah,
else to wrestle. Uh, and Adam Cole, had a good showing.
yeah.
Okay, Survivor Series that year, Adam Cole had a good showing. So I say Raw after Mania that year, they should have brought them up. Okay,
Okay. Which year was
now,
that? 20 was that 2019?
yeah, 2019. So now I say you bring them up, okay, and you have let's see, do we bring up Roderick Strong with them? I'd say we guess we have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, then we were like, yeah, I guess. I mean, if he has to be there, I guess.
so I think they
Roderick
get called
Strong.
up. I get called up, and I say that the first thing they do, okay, the first thing that to make an impact is they have the Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly win the tag team titles on SmackDown because the titles weren't split yet or weren't
No.
together yet.
Yeah, yeah, they were still separate.
Okay, so they're on SmackDown, and you have them win the tag team titles. I can't remember who was the champions at the time. Let's see, 2019 would have been. It probably would have been the Usos.
Would have been WrestleMania 35. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions were the Usos. Yes.
Look at that, I nailed it. All right, so I would have had them beat the Usos to win the tag team titles. Okay,
Okay.
and then after that, we'd have them feuding with we had them feuding with who was a group that was on SmackDown at the time.
Oh boy.
There weren't many groups back then.
Yeah, not back then. There weren't a lot of groups. Was was that when the Wyatt family was still a thing?
No, this is when Bray got released.
Was he gone at this point?
Yeah, because remember because this is when Bray got released because he came back and went during the pandemic.
Yeah, he wasn't on Mania. So
Yeah.
looking at the Mania roster matches and seeing who was around at that time, but they had no real groups. I mean, the New Day,
All right. Yep. There we
Kofi
go.
was
We're going with
WWE
the New Day.
champion. You're gonna have him
Yep.
feud with WWE champion right out of the bat?
Yep. Yep. They're gonna start feuding with the New Day because that's the only group they got.
Yeah, pretty much
Okay.
back then.
And then when they're feuding with the New Day, that's when Adam Cole proclaims that they're gonna go after the Golden Prophecy just like they did in NXT. So he's gonna go after Kofi Kingston. Okay.
Okay.
So you have him go after Kofi Kingston, and Roderick Strong is going to go after either Sami Zayn or Shinsuke, whoever had the belt.
Who was United States champion?
Oh, I thought the IC title was on SmackDown.
Oh, the IC title might have been. Yeah, the IC title was. The IC champion was after Mania was. Well, no, I don't know Finn Balor, but I don't remember him being. That was Raw, right?
Oh yeah, so maybe it wasn't.
Oh, it
Maybe it's still
was Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, he was the United States champion at that time.
So there you go. You have like an old school ROH match between Samoa Joe and Roderick Strong. There we go. I like that. All right. So at that next pay-per-view, you have Roderick Strong and go after that belt, but he loses. Okay. But Adam Cole wins. So Adam Cole completes the prophecy. He beats Kofi Kingston. Be a hell of a lot better than having Brock Lesnar beat Kofi Kingston. So then you have them and then they had the little rift because Roderick Strong didn't complete the prophecy and they kick him out of the group.
Okay. So that's
Okay.
3.
Yeah. So now it's just the 3 of them. And now you have Brock Lesnar come back and you think, oh, he's gonna squash Adam Cole, but Adam Cole beats Brock Lesnar. How about that, some bitch? That's what I'm talking about. Really, I mean, there'll be a lot of shenanigans, but he beats Brock Lesnar. Sorry, Ryan. How would you have Adam Cole lose the belt?
Oh boy. How so Adam Cole's champion, let's say he holds it till what? When would he win it? Like Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
So he holds it till I think he has to hold it to like the Rumble or something.
Yeah, because so Brock Lesnar wins the Money in the Bank just like he did.
Yeah.
Went up and grabbed it, and so you think, he's gonna squash Adam Cole, but Adam Cole, with the help of the Undisputed Era, defeats Brock Lesnar.
Okay. So then Adam Cole's champion going into Rumble.
Yeah.
He's on SmackDown, which SmackDown didn't have a lot of stars. At that time, at least. The SmackDown 2019 roster was limited.
Yeah.
Trying to look at the roster.
I got it. So after that, you have after that we have didn't they have a draft or not? They didn't have a draft, did they?
At some point, I think they did, but
Well, let's say they did, and the OC gets drafted to SmackDown. Okay. And Finn Balor joins them. So you have like the Bullet Club. And so you have the Bullet Club versus the Undisputed Era. And at Mania, or at the Royal Rumble, you have Finn Balor win the Royal Rumble. How about that? And then he gains control of the OC. Him and AJ Styles have a match at the Elimination Chamber or whatever before fucking Roadblock, whatever the fuck it was, and he beats him for control of the OC. So he's in charge of the OC. So now you have the Bullet Club, original club, versus Undisputed Era at Mania, and Bullet Club takes all. They beat them for the tag titles and the heavyweight title at WrestleMania. An amazing match, Finn Balor and Adam Cole.
that would be great. Probably better than anything I could have came up with, honestly.
And then Adam Cole goes on to win the title like 5 times in his career, and has an amazing career because Triple H gets control of WWE. But yeah, that's how I would have booked.
See, I would have loved that, but under Vince McMahon, Adam Cole is never going to win the world title.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. In my fantasy world, Vince McMahon, got attacked by the fucking mafia or something. I don't know. Motherfucker's out. He owed the mafia a bunch of money.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they never got called up is insane to me. Because like they did
They
everything.
were there for 4 years.
Yeah, they did everything they could have done in the in NXT. Like they won every title. They never got called up, and they really should have. And I don't know if 2019 would have been the best time, 2020, but then they all got released eventually. So it's like after Cole lost the NXT championship, but he held it twice, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after he lost it the first time, he probably should have, which was I think was 2019. I think you were dead on about this time when he won the championship because I think he lost it to at that year's. Oh, he was only a one-time champion. I thought he held it twice. He lost it. Let's see. He won it. He won it from Johnny Gargano at Takeover 25, and then he lost it to Keith Lee July 1st, 2020. But that would have been when that was pandemic era. So you had to have called him up before the pandemic era.
Yeah.
So 2019, yeah. He lost. So if I wouldn't bet, he lost to Johnny Gargano in the 2 out of 3 falls match takeover Brooklyn. Then you call him up because he lost.
Yep.
So he never wins the NXT title. But that's fine because he would go on to win the WWE title. Yeah, that's what I think. After Mania, the Raw after Mania, he loses to Johnny Gargano 2 out of 3 falls. They make a statement by attacking whoever. I think, yeah, because he was such a missed opportunity. The rest of them, not so much, but Adam Cole especially. Like I was never a huge fan of like O'Reilly and Fish and Strong, but damn it, Adam Cole, man, Jesus Christ,
Yep.
the fact that he never, and it maybe he never wanted to get called up. I don't know,
Oh, I'm sure he did.
but yeah, I mean they did everything. They like tag team of the year, they won rivalry of the year, match of the year like 3 times. They won the tag team classic. He won the North American Championship, the NXT Championship, and the Tag Team Championship. Like, what else was there for him to do down there?
Yeah.
And they stayed down there until they all got released. And it's like they really should have been called up, and they really should have. I mean, now he's doing nothing now. But did they forget about him by the way in AEW, or they just not have him on the show?
Yeah, he wasn't there this week on any of the shows, I don't think. He had 4 shows and he wasn't on any of them.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, I think a New Day feud would have been cool with them because or the OC because I think AJ was that when they were together?
Yeah, that's what I said. He has
Yeah, you could have
yeah,
done their first feud be against the OC or something like, but they you didn't have a lot of groups, so that's fine. Like they didn't need groups. Like they could have individually feuded with people. They would have been like the most dominant group in WWE.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Such a missed opportunity. And I was doing my damnedest to try to think of like how they would get called up and to make it make sense and to make it important. Um, I think because it's hard to do with their current because if you're trying to do it in a way that makes sense, it has to be after like Mania or something because he was involved in feuds up to that. So like,
Yeah.
I think you have the perfect time frame of 2019 because he just lost to Johnny Gargano. So he's like, what do they do? So they just go up to the main roster because none of them had championships at that time. None of them had
Right.
titles.
All right.
So it would have made sense because none of them were champions in NXT. So they very easily could have been called up. And I really think them staying in NXT so long hurt the NXT brand
Yeah. I think so
because
too.
it felt like they had to keep using them because they had dominated NXT for so long. And so they just kept winning titles and kept being in feuds. And I think it ended up hurting a lot of people down in NXT who should have won the titles, but they didn't because Cole was there and Strong and they kind of had a stranglehold on every championship.
You're right.
So yeah, your time frame's probably the best time. 2019 was kind of a shitty year for WWE. I mean, not a lot of star power around, not a lot of stuff going on. So they really would have boosted the main roster at least.
I'm telling you, man, it made all the sense in the world to me.
It would have boosted. You could have had him come out. And yeah, I don't know if I would have had him win the title right away, but you know,
Not right away. I mean, you have them. Yeah, like I said, you have them. At first, they just go after the tag titles, you know, and they're feuding with the Usos, and Adam Cole's like, you know, he has a couple matches, but he's kind of just, he's kind of like Shawn Michaels back in the day. He don't wrestle all the time.
yeah,
And then you see switch focus over to the New Day, and that's when you have him go after the heavyweight title because he's,
yeah,
Kofi's got it, and it makes sense because Kofi's wasn't going to be a long-term champion, so
yeah. I think Kofi wins it at Mania, loses at SummerSlam to Cole,
yeah,
and then Cole holds it till Rumble or till Mania, I guess, and then he loses it to Balor at Mania. That would, yeah, it actually wouldn't be that bad. Actually, it makes kind of sense.
go figure.
And then Roderick Strong can just go do whatever the hell he wants to do. Maybe he goes to the cruiserweight division.
Wow.
Well, I'm not a big Roderick Strong fan, man. I don't know what to tell you.
You didn't like all his backbreakers?
Got kind of old after a while. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's shit that they never got called up because we missed out on some fantastic matches we could have had on the main roster. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved them in NXT but they were there for, like you said, for 4 years. And by 2019, they'd already, other than winning the NXT title, and he won it that year anyway, but they already accomplished everything they could accomplish. Like, they were the most dominant thing in NXT. It made sense for them to make the jump, and it never happened. And everyone was thinking, well, what the like, why?
Yeah.
And what is they? And then they all left. And we never got to see them do anything on the main roster. They had like that one night, like you talked about, when they got stranded in Saudi Arabia, where Adam Cole was there and he had a match with Dan O'Brien or whatever.
Yep.
And that was like the only time, and then Survivor Series, it was like the only time I got to see Cole on the main roster.
And it was awesome, and the crowd was into it.
Yeah, the whole crowd loved him. The Adam Cole, baby. Like he was so over, and it was like that moment you shouldn't think there'd be higher ups would have been like, oh shit, like let's do it.
Yep. But nope.
No. I mean, you could have even called him up in 2020 because this is the pandemic era. You could have fucking called him up then.
Yeah.
Nothing else is going on those shows.
It was crap. All right, next time we'll have to come up with something else for fantasy booking, Ryan, in a couple weeks.
Yeah, something I can actually book this time. Maybe we should watch some 2020 wrestling. Nathan, you want to go back and relive the pandemic era?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I couldn't tell you anything that happened. Those 2 years, nothing. My brain never remembers anything that happened in those eras, so I'm glad to of that. All right, so thank you for joining us. Next week we'll be talking obviously WWE and AEW again, and we'll
have our dynasty predictions.
Yeah, next week we're gonna be doing our dynasty predictions for AEW. Should be an interesting card, an interesting show. We'll see if MJF comes back. But all that and more next week here on the podcast and over on our YouTube channel where most of you are watching. So we appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, the subscriptions, all that fun stuff. If you have anything you'd like to say, you can leave it in the comments section. You can go over to Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or Threads. It is Squared Circle Speak on all platforms. We appreciate you listening. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next
one. Later.
Thank you for watching Nathan's Undisputed Era on the main roster fantasy booking. Sorry, my brain just did not work, and I could not get anything out regarding this fantasy booking. Hope you enjoyed this. Next week, we're going to have our AEW Dynasty predictions. We're going to be talking WWE, AEW, and a lot of other fun stuff on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week, Monday, for another video.